Speculation as a Fine Art, by Dixon G. Watts, first of a series of articles containing some of the wisdom of famous Wall Street operators. Mr. Watts, many years ago, was a leading operator in cotton, and this article by him is one of the oldest on the subject of speculation, as well as a classic in its line. All business is more or less speculation. The term speculation, however, is commonly restricted to business of exceptional uncertainty. The uninitiated believe that chance is so large a part of speculation that it is subject to no rules, is governed by no laws. This is a serious error. We propose to point out some of the laws in this realm. Let us first consider the qualities essential to the equipment of a speculator. We name them: self-reliance, judgment, courage, prudence, pliability. 1. Self-reliance. A man must think for himself, must follow his own convictions. George MacDonald says, "A man cannot have another man's ideas any more than he can have another man's soul or another man's body." Self-trust is the foundation of successful effort. 2. Judgment, that equipoise, that nice adjustment of the faculties one to the other, which is called good judgment, is an essential to the speculator. 3. Courage, that is, confidence to act on the decisions of the mind. In speculation there is value in Murray Baugh's dictum: be bold, still be bold, always be bold. 4. Prudence, the power of measuring the danger, together with a certain alertness and watchfulness, is very important. There should be a balance of these two, prudence and courage. Prudence in contemplation, courage in execution. Lord Bacon says, "In meditation all dangers should be seen, in execution none, unless very formidable." Connected with these qualities, properly outgrowth of them, is a third, viz., promptness. The mind convinced, the act should follow. In the words of Macbeth, henceforth. 5. Pliability. The ability to change an opinion, the power of revision. He who observes, says Emerson, and observes again, is always formidable. The qualifications named are necessary to the makeup of a speculator, but they must be in well-balanced combination. Laws absolute, never overtrade. To take an interest larger than the capital justifies is to invite disaster. With such an interest, a fluctuation in the market unnerves the operator, and his judgment becomes worthless. Never double up, that is, never completely and at once reverse a position. Being long, for instance, do not sell out and go as much short. This may occasionally succeed, but is very hazardous, for should the market begin again to advance, the mind reverts to its original opinion and the speculator covers up and goes long again. Should this last change be wrong, complete demoralization ensues. The change in the original position should have been made moderately, cautiously, thus keeping the judgment clear and preserving the balance of the mind. Run quick, or not at all. That is to say, act promptly at the first approach of danger, but failing to do this until others see the danger. Hold on or close out part. When doubtful, reduce the amount of the interest, for either the mind is not satisfied with the position taken, or the interest is too large for safety. One man told another that he could not sleep on account of his position in the market. His friend judiciously and laconically replied, "Sell down to a sleeping point, rules conditional." These rules are subject to modification according to the circumstances, individuality, and temperament of the operator. It is better to average up than to average down. This opinion is contrary to the one commonly held and acted upon, it being the practice to buy and on a decline to buy more. This reduces the average. Probably 4 times out of 5 this method will result in striking a reaction in the market that will prevent loss, but the 5th time, meet exclamation ing with a permanently declining market. The operator loses his head and closes out, making a heavy loss, a loss so great as to bring complete demoralization, often ruin. But buying at first moderately, and as the market advances adding slowly and cautiously to the line. This is a way of speculating that requires great care and watchfulness, for the market will often react to the point of average. Here lies the danger. Failure to close out at the point of average destroys the safety of the whole operation. Occasionally, a permanently advancing market is met with and a big profit secured. In such an operation, the original risk is small, the danger at no time great, and when successful, the profit is large. This method should only be employed when an important advance or decline is expected, and with a moderate capital can be used with comparative safety. 2. Buy down requires a long purse and a strong nerve, and ruin often overtakes those who have both nerve and money. The stronger the nerve, the more probability of staying too long. There is, however, a class of successful operators who buy down and hold on. They deal in relatively small amounts, entering the market prudently with the determination of holding on for a long period. They are not disturbed by its fluctuations. They are men of good judgment, who buy in times of depression to hold for a general revival of business, an investing rather than a speculating class. Stop losses and let profits run. If small profits are taken, then small losses must be taken. Not to have the courage to accept a loss, and to be too eager to take a profit is fatal. It is the ruin of many. Public opinion is not to be ignored. A strong speculative current is for the time being overwhelming, and should be closely watched. The rule is to act cautiously with public opinion. Against it, boldly. To go with the market, even when the basis is a good one, is dangerous. It may at any time turn and rend you. Every speculator knows the danger of too much company. It is equally necessary to exercise caution in going against the market. This caution should be continued to the point of wavering, of loss of confidence, when the market should be boldly encountered to the full extent of strength, nerve, and capital. The market has a pulse, on which the hand of the operator should be placed as that of the physician on the wrist of the patient. This pulse beat must be the guide when and how to act. In forming an opinion of the market, the element of chance ought not to be omitted. There is a doctrine of chances. Napoleon in his campaigns allowed a margin for chance, for the accidents that come in to destroy or modify the best calculation. Calculation must measure the incalculable. It is better to act on general than special information. It is not so misleading, viz., the state of the country, the condition of the crops, manufacturers, etc. Statistics are valuable, but they must be kept subordinate to a comprehensive view of the whole situation. Those who confine themselves too closely to statistics are poor guides. There is nothing, said Canning, so fallacious as facts, except figures. When in doubt, do nothing. Don't enter the market on half convictions. Wait till the convictions are fully matured. We have written to little purpose unless we have left the impression that the fundamental principle that lies at the base of all speculation is this: act so as to keep the mind clear, its judgment trustworthy. A reserve force should therefore be maintained and kept for supreme movements, when the full strength of the whole man should be put on the stroke delivered. It may be thought that the carrying out of these rules is difficult. As we said in the outset, the gifted man only can apply them. To the artist alone are the rules of his art valuable. There are bulls, bears, and various other animals, insects and parasites in Wall Street, but the worst of all is the straddlebug. His way of advising you always leaves in a loophole so that he can go back and prove to you that no matter what happened, he was right. Are you getting rich backwards? Then you're taking 2 points profit on your speculative trades and letting your losses run. Why not reverse this rule, limit your risk to 1, 2, or 3 points, and let your profits run? But first learn how to place stop orders scientifically. The stock market is like a moving picture film on which every flash is different in some respect from those that precede and follow. By observing every detail that appears on a film, one may study the action of the characters, read their purposes, and judge what they are likely to do when put to the test. Obviously, nothing like a cut-and-dried system can be applied to such a series of observations, but it is frequently possible to tell, early in a film, how the action will terminate, notwithstanding the efforts of the author to disguise his purpose and deceive his audience. So it is with manipulation as it appears on the tape.